quite important, and I might ask your help in a minute, Claire, to get to the button on the screen. Yeah. Okay. Two things you can do with Webby which are quite important. I think it's quite daunting for a seeing person to see a web page like this. There's nothing familiar. It kind of bowls people over a bit. So in a minute we'll look at how you can quickly switch from that screen to the real look of the web as it normally is. But the other thing is that most people with a visual handicap, disability, have got a little bit of sight. So what they actually want is the option to see things large print, sometimes or even always. So this is how we do it in Webby. Alt-O, pressing the Alt key and dabbing at O.
Change font. Menu item. Change Webby font. Sample, Arial Black.
So I press the Enter key. I tab to get to the font size option.
Combo box. 2, 6, 2, 8, 7, 2. Webby, BBC. Language, last updated.
It literally could be as large as that. I imagine that's pretty large just on the screen. I mean, that's ridiculously large. But most people might want font size 18 or 22 or 24 or whatever it is, and they've got that option. And like I say, on the screen they've also got the option of bringing up, I'll describe it. You actually click on one of the buttons at the top here which says View, what does it say, Claire?
It says View Web Page, so I'll just do that quickly.
Just do that.
And let you look at the screen.
Pane.
So there's a more familiar screen to reassure you that you know everything's normal, okay, if you're helping people. So now, to finish my part of it, just a little word about the philosophy of Webby. Webby was designed, first of all, as a student project at Manchester University, and we still have that student working for us. Although he's a very old man of 30 now, and he's passionate about developing Webby, and he's made all these wonderful modifications to it. There are two ways of looking at computing for people who can't see. Some say we need to be able to hear everything that everybody else can see, and we don't subscribe to that particularly. We've gone down the philosophy like this. Webby screen scrapes all the stuff which is a nuisance to us. It takes it away, leaves us with simple text which we can control in our own fashion, and that makes accessibility and usability far, far easier than trying to struggle with the complexity of an ordinary screen. And you, Margaret, you use Webby quite a lot, like I do, don't you?
Yes, I do, mainly to find out pieces of information, prices for goods and that sort of thing.
Like Waitrose, like health foods. We don't necessarily buy a lot on the web, do we? We find a lot of information on the web and then go and get it.
That's right.
Often on the phone, because it's quicker than using the web. So we're quite individual in our approach to these kind of issues. So now if I move out of the way and stop talking, and then you can do a bit of demoing.
Okay.
Okay.
Internet Explorer, email.
Email, here
Menu
we go.
item.
I press Enter.
Outlook Express script initialized.
Okay, I'm in Outlook Express now, so I can explore who's sent emails with the up and down arrow key, which just takes me through the list. So I press the...
Claudia, Eden,
I'm just
key tool,
pressing the up arrow to see what's arrived.
Miranda, Christopher, Anders Holmberg, Christopher Swaffin Smith, Anders Holmberg, Margaret,
So there's plenty of
Ian
stuff
Baker,
there.
Paul Blent, plus EME, Alastair King, Robin Lewis, Jane Copsey.
Okay.
Subject, Sappy 5,
Okay.
success eventually, received.
So if
The
I want to
27th
listen...
of February 2007, 1540, list item.
So if I actually want to hear this email, I press the tab key.
Hi Roger, I'm not using my default mail account, as Margaret and I have had trouble with it.
Okay,
so
so
please
I've
put
had enough
this
of that
address in
one.
your
I
address
press
book as well.
Control to stop it. Now, if I want to reply to that email, I go back to the list of the original inbox list.
Penny Hefferon, Jane Copsey.
That's the one. And if I want to reply to it, I press Control R.
Sappy 5.
And then I can
success
type what I
eventually,
want.
Pain.
I can just type thanks,
Thanks,
Jane.
Jane.
And then I press Alt S to send it.
Inbox, Outlook Express.
And that would be on its way to Jane. I'll do a bit of writing, I think, in Microsoft Word. So I press the start.
Start menu, start menu.
There we are. So I arrow up and down till I find Microsoft Word.
Microsoft Word.
There we are. And then
Menu item.
I press enter.
Word script initialized.
Excellent. So I'm in a new blank document, so I'll say type a little message. And I've pressed the letter H and it quacked because I pressed the capital letter. Hello.
Hello.
Now I can, if I want to, have it set to speak character by character or word by word. I prefer to have it word by word because it's less chattery. So let's type another little message.
This is a demonstration of thunder. Hello, comma.
I'm now just pressing Control and I can, and the right arrow.
This is a demonstration of thunder speech. Full stop.
Okay, well that sounded okay to me. Now, as I move across the screen, you can hear these wonderful musical tones.
Speech. Thunder of a.
As you move to the left, the pitch goes lower, and as you move to the right, it goes higher.
Demo of speak. Full stop.
Right, well now we're going to talk about support, help, how a person with no sight actually cracks all this, because it certainly isn't easy, is it, Mark? You know.
No, it isn't.
We there's a lot of frustration involved in this, and we can only do our best to make it easy. So on our website we've got lots of help files. They're called how-to files, and they're a combination of audio and visual to help the seeing helper and the blind person that's using. And there are about 50 of them, and they contain items like how do you address an envelope, how do you search for something on the internet, how do you get to listen again radio, and they're very short and very practical. As well as that, we've got the inevitable manuals, which kind of go A to Z through the system, explaining all the keyboard strokes and that kind of stuff. And they may be a bit boring, but they're kind of useful, and they're segmented into easy to find chapters. And we've got those on the web, and they're quite easy to download and share with a person who can't see. If you've got somebody you're training and they're a brailleist, you can give us a ring and we'll provide them with a braille manual. We don't really provide large print manuals now because it's easy for you to do with a standard printer and just enlarge the fonts. So that's what we do on manuals and ongoing support. And we've also got a helpline which is run by a person who doesn't see and uses the software, and he's available to, we try to make it, he deals with thunder queries, but inevitably it spills over into other things, and he's as helpful as he can be. So that's how we support.
And we've also got on the website is a reference card which is arranged alphabetically, so that it's a quick list of all the keystrokes that are commonly used, the thunder keystrokes, and also some of the common keystrokes for Word, Outlook Express, and also for Webby.